Hello again, this is more of my theory of reality and time, the unit manipulation. I didn't quite have it down properly last time. There was something that was missing, and I believed I sort of solved that out to a degree. It seems like it's more like it runs smoother. Um, I realized I got to a point last time where things started to make sense, but wasn't quite all there. And that's kind of the process I used to solving this equation. So it starts out the same. E equals mc squared, kilograms meters squared, kilograms meters per second squared. And then I changed it to degrees. And the reason why it's degrees, because if we look back at my video for the unit, like the reality time circle, I forgot what exactly I titled it. The degrees would be in the first quadrant. So this is going, the meters are in the third quadrant, which is where we exist. And like that was tying that wheel into this was like the step I was kind of missing. But then, and I changed how I manipulated this. I divided out the kilograms, but I'm going to keep them there. I'm not going to get rid of them. And then took the reciprocal of the left side. And I have a couple of reasons personally why I think that happens. Because the first quadrant here, this is the theory, this is the wheel of time and reality, so to speak. It's like when you're looking full on straight at it. The first quadrant is reciprocated and like it's up in the first quadrant. So I think like that move kind of makes sense. Like it's jumping to that quadrant. So it becomes seconds over degrees to the 1/2 divided by degrees over seconds to the 1/2, and then this becomes just seconds over degrees, which is the units that we need in order to apply Mueller's equation. But now on the right side, all we're sitting with is kilograms over kilograms. And this system is all about balance. On the wheel, we have the third quadrant, which is a straight line with an overlapping first quadrant. And this is where that overlap comes into play. Well, I think it did with it could have in the reciprocal, taking the reciprocal of that. But like something like this isn't moving. This is just stationary. There is no time passing for this. So in order to kind of evoke that time, I'm going to add in meters per second, or seconds per meters. And that is because like the straight line, that's why we would have meters instead of degrees. And this also, when you're doing out Mueller's equation, you have on the left side, I believe it's 1 over, it might not be 1 over, I'm not positive on that, I square root c. And the units are seconds over degrees, which is applying to the square root c. The I, on the other hand, is, imaginary. So kilograms over kilograms, those are kind of imaginary units, but they kind of exist. Like they come into play in certain things. I'm fairly positive. I looked at a sheet that had common units with kilograms, and that was on there. So and kilograms over kilograms on there. So that means it's a thing. So that's what keeps this in balance. And over here we just have 1 because it's not. We just need 1 over there. Then we raise this by the e, raise this by the e, and we get e to the 1, and then you know how it goes. Negative infinity to 0 equals 1 over integral of 0 to infinity cosine square root c plus 0 to infinity I sine square root c. All right, and I think that like keeping it balanced by throwing that in there, and the reason why I think it's seconds over meters is because we're in the third quadrant, which is like the reciprocal. So like that, from it coming from that quadrant, it's already in this form. It's already seconds over meters instead of meters over seconds. So that makes it kind of like slide in there a little bit easily, you know? Like it kind of like works out a little bit better. But that is tying this, the circle of time and space, and like this is like the web. You know, they talk about the web. So like this is like propagating outwards, like coming at you, and this is like the math behind what kickstarted that. I'm not sure if it's correct all the way, but I feel like I'm getting closer to what possibly could be the correct answer for this. I think it was pretty clever throwing that in there. I don't know. It seems to make more sense to me, at least. Oh, that's all I got.